That's right. It's time for everyone's favorite Twitch politics show, The More Perfect Union. Covering the best in U.S. politics and Twitch political drama, we aim to disarm the left using the Constitution as our spear and shield.
The entire articulation for the use of deadly force is the imminent threat of death or great bodily harm. It has nothing to do with whether.
What was the threat?
As a matter of fact,
what was the threat?
Are you out of your mind, Gappy? You're out of your mind. Get ready.
The other thing is that the cost of enamel paints and Warhammer figures has gone through the roof. When you poll foreign citizens of other countries about our president, they don't vote, and they are not representing the voice of their governments. It is true that a lot of foreign governments are glad that Joe Biden is president because they steamroll his shit left and right every way, 7 ways from Sunday. Matter of fact, twice on Sunday. I care what the American people think. Okay, well, a little timing, happiness and joy there. This is the More Perfect Union. I am live for a little bit. Wife's on a call, and we are going to go have some serious food here in a little bit, and we're going to try socializing our dog out in public. So we'll see where, how that goes, but he's a little too damn happy for his own, what's the word I want to use? Yeah, good. So anyway, let's see what I got here. Yeah, my Firefox is not showing me some love. Some background music going on that nobody can seem to hear. Let's see. What? That's because it's been killed. Anyway. Q. Oh, there it is. There we go. Kill Firefox. Firefox is killed. Cue it up. See what's up. It's because I muted the damn tab. There we go. Woo. Okay. Jesus. I don't think I need to hear it that much, right? That's just feedback for me. Yeah, you guys can hear it just fine. I just need a little bit of it. In any case, yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's just see if there's anything interesting going on the news that I could speak about here. But Ukraine just continues to be, I guess, another Afghanistan for the Russians. Hey, hello there, viewer. Just doing a little bit of a lightweight stream. It's been a hot minute since I've talked to you guys. I've done a couple of live participations on hippy dippy round table, just kind of basically filling in for people at the last second. For a few of those things, the topic choices are kind of interesting, right? There's a lot of serious things that are going on in the world, and let me mute that. Okay, I don't need that right now. Yeah, see, federal court judge is blocking the removal of Title 42. I'm kind of a mixed bag on that because using Title 42 as an immigration control mechanism by the Trump administration, it served a purpose, but it's a shame that that's how the purpose was operating. So I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned about the government when they choose to do like these end around kind of things because they can't get Congress and the administration to work together. So, but I'm glad on the one hand that Title 42 is being left in place, but it's literally, it's a 180-day reprieve, right? Because the Administrative Procedures Act says you can't do anything super nasty that involves a statutory law without giving a public, you'd have to make it through a rulemaking process or the Administrative Procedures Act. So yeah, it's there for a little bit. We'll see, right? We'll see 180 days, 6 months. 6 months gets us into November. Will the Democrats try to jam as much as they possibly can if they lose control of the House and or Senate? Or will they do as Bill Clinton did, right, when he got his backside handed to him in 96? And this is not really an ad for anything. These are just eyeglass wipes. You don't always see what we got going on in the background. But in any case, I just think there's a lot of stuff that's getting ready to blow up on old Uncle Joe. So let me see. I was trying to actually change the stream title because that's something I'm really horrible about. I should probably try to force that, I think, to make sure I've got a good title in before I go live. That's very sad, though. Oh, let me see. Just a quick catch-up. We'll just call it quick catch-up. I don't know how long I will stream today, but the big thing that I wanted to throw out for everybody's consideration is I've been invited by the St. Croix County, Wisconsin Republican Party to set up shop at their debate that's going to be going on May 1st. And I was just over there yesterday scouting out the venue. It's a big giant catering hall where they do a lot of big events, weddings, and so forth. So there's, I think, up to 300 or so people. These are paid people to come in, and they're going to get a chance to hear the candidates speak. And I'm going to see if I can test out a lot of my new gear, which I've got these wireless cameras that do NDI videos, so I can be literally in a different room, just hook them up to a battery, and let them run, and just maybe capture the entirety of that event to do a what's the word I want to use? To do kind of like a rehash about things that are said, policies that are done, and do a reaction stream to that sometime next week. But it is 5G coverage out there. Now I didn't test it. I need to take a laptop out there. Probably, I don't think I'll do it today, but probably tomorrow or Friday, I'll go out to the venue and actually see if I have a good enough signal strength to be able to connect everything up and live stream. So I'll be really, really seriously looking forward to doing that. And I've got a mobile wireless router, and I can connect everything up to it, and we'll see what we can get done here. So, we really don't have any other viewers, and I was dinking around with this earlier, and I had a couple people that were in, and they were kind of starting to talk a little bit, and unfortunately I had to end just a quick test that I was doing, which really was trying to bring in Facebook Live and YouTube Live, which I'm actually recording, not recording, but I'm actually broadcasting live to those two other platforms, and I'll have to check afterward to see, how well it actually worked out. But the idea here is that if I can do this, I can bring that feed in and be completely uniform in terms of, doing like quick hits. Now I'm still going to produce, I'll go back out and I'll reproduce the VODs, or I'll be doing video segment editing, inserting that in certain places. But this gets people, at least from a VOD perspective, I'm trying to reach out and get some more additional content, venues, right? Trying to get more vectors of attack, if you will, to get the message out there. So, man, this is actually doing really, really freaking well today. I'm very surprised. I had the Comcast guys come out here. I had to replace all of my TV, DVR hardware and stuff like that. And I was just not thrilled at all with how any of their stuff was working. And then come to find out, there was all new hardware. Speaking of new hardware, this little bit of gear so this is the Oops. I'm going to turn that off. So these are these little babies here made by Rode. Rode makes microphones. Of course, I use I have a Rode Pod mic, which I will actually take into the field with me. I've got a little stand set up for that. I'll take my Rodecaster Pro, which is a soundboard, and I will have a desktop mic, and I will also have wireless microphones for the candidates as I speak to them. So it's looking like, I mean, I'm really, really, really excited about putting these things to their field. Now, they are condenser mics. They are exceedingly sensitive. And after I updated the firmware on them when I first got them, and then started pulling in their, they have a lot of actual very, very finite sound controls. So you can do things like noise gain control and things like that on and so forth as well through your app, but they have to be USB connected. They're not wireless to the computer. But very good stuff if you are looking to get into any kind of live field recording, and there's a cable that you can USB to Lightning, or USB to USB-C to USB-C if you have an Android device that you can actually connect up and actually manage this and use these things as a field recording device, which would be kind of slick. So, in any case, there we are. So those are going to be front and center to the event on Sunday, and the people that are actually they're vying for the GOP nomination for the office of, I believe it's Secretary of State, Attorney General, Lieutenant Governor, and Governor as well. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. Oh, man, oh, man. So we look at, I have looked at, I'll be honest, on current events. I've been kind of waylaid. Work has been exceedingly difficult. I know that some of our good friends have not streamed as much as possible. And I want to say just a quick thing. I want to say a little shout out for Colonel Dan. I hope that he is on the mend and recovering and getting his strength back. He's somebody who has significant, or has had significant health challenges for the last 6 or so years. And he is a treasure to the Twitch politics community, and he's not really super political. He's got his own. He does have a political viewpoint, but he presents information on geopolitics and how the U.S. fits within a global sphere of influence, and he's been doing a bang up job covering things like the Afghanistan withdrawal, like the situation that's going on in Ukraine. And trying to get, and particularly China, and how, these things are affecting global political, activities. So, it's kind of weird in the sense of things where you look at, where you look at people that you've met, and we have a number of people that go out on Twitch and do streams, and they're very actively engaged in social media, Twitter, Instagram, and so forth. And you feel like you kind of know some people, and you know their character. I'm sorry, Wobbly, I'm not sure what your intent is. Content, how much, what I made a comment about having more content a little more frequently, or just, useful content. But Colonel Dan's he's a mentor guy, and actually I'll throw Wobbly in there as well. I mean, you would talk about well-rounded cats, who have been through an awful lot in their lives, and they bring a lot of that life experience to the benefit of other people. I mean, to everyone around them. And they're really seriously good cats that need to be called out in the most positive way possible anytime that you can. So I hope Wobbly's around for a long, long time, and I certainly hope that the Colonel himself is out here for an awful long time as well. God love you guys both. So, I don't know, exactly how this, the interview setup and stuff is going to go. I was talking to one of the coordinators, and she mentioned to me that she was going to be there at like 10. And I'm like, 10 at night or 10 in the morning? Because if it's a dinner, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be going on. So I expect to be over there about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning, based on what she told me. And I'm looking forward to it. One of the people who's running for the governor's office is a guy named Ramthan, and he, if you do Google search for him, but Representative Ramthan in Wisconsin, he was actually leading the charge on like the investigation of the election results and what, whether or not what was going on in Dane and Milwaukee County was legitimate according to the Constitution. So, yay. Anyway, for that. Let's see over here. So I'm putting QR codes and stuff in on the page to let people see some easier ways to kind of scan things off, and then putting them on the page, editing the page. I'm actually gonna be doing maybe this weekend. I don't know, maybe next weekend. Looking at 27.2.2. Oh, 2.4. Okay. Yeah, I'll kind of pin that off for a bit. New update. OBS Studio. It seems like every time I do an update to OBS Studio, something on my system blows up. And I think, honestly, I'm going to adopt that motif that says I'm going to lock it down and maybe update it like once a quarter. Unless there's something that's broken that I know is being fixed. In any case. Yeah, so it looks like Anthony Blinken is going to testify after he meets with Zelensky. We can check and see here real quick. Let's bounce in.
Ukraine could hinge on what happens with COVID. Schumer and GOP Utah Senator Mitt Romney reached a deal weeks ago. The money would go for tests and vaccines. They may need to link the bills together. Some GOP members are skeptical.
I'm not saying I don't trust Senator Romney and Senator Schumer.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But when I
guys
had
might
more
be able to
time,
do
I
that.
used to play poker with friends. They were all friends, but I always cut the cards. I'd like to see a little more evidence about what happened to the money.
Ukraine says
it's been a while since I've used Streamlabs desktop. It's like putting 1,000 different updates in.
Anita?
All right, always comes down to the money. Chad Pergram, live on Capitol Hill. Thank you so much for that. John.
Anita, now to that Fox News exclusive. Secretary Lloyd Austin stayed in Europe after his Kiev visit with Secretary Blinken. He is in Germany to host the defense leaders of 40 countries to discuss ways to increase security assistance to Ukraine.
The meeting coming after Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov warned of an increasing threat of nuclear war.
In a Fox News exclusive, our Jennifer Griffin asked the Secretary of Defense about whether our nation is prepared for the worst, and why won't the White House come out and say we are trying to defeat Putin?
Yesterday, you said the goal is to weaken Russia at the end of this conflict. Why not say defeat Russia?
Okay, to be clear, we're not in a fight with Russia. Ukraine is in a current struggle with Russia, and
let me get the video up there real quick.
Desperately wants is to make sure that it can protect its sovereign territory, and we want to make sure that we're helping Ukraine do that. And so, what you've seen us do from the very beginning, and even before this conflict, this invasion started. We were providing Ukraine with security assistance to be able to defend itself if it ever needed to. And of course, once it was invaded, we and others picked up the pace in terms of providing meaningful security assistance. So the things that you saw that we provided before and during the conflict, I think have been very, very helpful.
We just heard Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov warn in an interview that the world could be on the verge of a World War III. He said that the potential for a nuclear war is real. Do you consider this hyperbole, or is this a threat?
What I think it is, Jen, is it's dangerous, and any kind of rhetoric like that, I think is unhelpful.
Yeah, there we go. It could be audio only, except I'm an idiot. So, it's sometimes when you restart your computer, the USB channels don't pick up right. This is coming through a Roku, and an HDMI splitter. So you have to pin it back in. You have to remap the USB feed. That they're so casually, are calling that out. I was just like, so you don't think? It is a proxy war. Yeah, well, say weaken a nation with nuclear weapons. Jesus. By the way, Wobbly, I caught part of your show this morning. That School of Rock, those kids are fabulous, man. And they got, there's just tons of them. They're all over the place. And you can tell, like, even the young kids. I sent you a link in your stream. The young kids, you could tell that they're not super professional, but they are way, way, way good for. They are way, way good for their age, and you can just imagine how good they're going to be when they get into their teens. Marijuana is a racist term. It's a racist trope. It's a control mechanism of the man. Oh my God. Let's just kill that for a minute. Oh my God. It's terrible. 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 George, I'm sorry. Charles Barkley, right? I am not a role model. It's terrible. Terrible. Jesus. Oh, man. So Elon Musk buys Twitter. Yay. Maybe. Who knows, right? We'll see. He's so far, Elon Musk is a strange cat. He really is. But we'll see how that ends up going for him. Now I have video, no audio? No audio for me? Check. No, I got audio. Wait a second. Wait a second. Check. Check, 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 check. What the hell? Yeah. Check one. Check. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Yeah. What the flip? Check 1. You can hear me, right? Okay. So now if I go over here, you can hear the TV audio. Well, no, you can't.
Payments by overseas.
But you can hear audio there, yes?
We all know some of life's most important financial decisions are made right here at the kitchen table. So if you're a veteran,
okay, so you can hear the audio, yes? Okay.
could be one of the best.
If I do this,
call 1-888.
You don't hear audio, but you can see the video. Is that correct?
Jason Whitlock reacts on a must.
And now you can hear the audio again.
Do you listen to the TV on high volume or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from hearing aids. Don't
chickadee chick chick.
Expensive
Okay.
hearing aids.
Yeah. So what it is just the lag between me doing stuff and seeing people type something in, and I've moved on. I've either resolved it or I've shifted the scene. In this case, I shifted the scene, but the audio was still
expensive models. Call now.
I shifted the scene, but the audio was cut out before I actually moved the scene over.
Plus, we'll add a portable charging case and ship your order absolutely free.
So what's up, Wobbly?
Tiny in-the-ear canal design.
Any fun, interesting stuff?
Missing out on important conversations or waste thousands of dollars. Call and get 2 CIC recharge.
I haven't really gone through and updated my Discord stuff since
4991. Again, that's 800-325-4991.
Since Infinity Acre was sort of reorganized, and I think I need to create new links
so I
can run them through Stream Deck.
They're anything but predictable, especially when you have clients like ours. When I consider payroll providers for my business, I looked for.
It's going to be super exciting this weekend. I'm looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to this.
U.S.-based customer service is there for me when I have questions, after hours, and even Saturdays.
Visit surepayroll.com.
Have you noticed that Discord is really slow to start these days?
Small business is our business.
I'm just so curious. Oh, here we go.
Well, it seems that political correctness is going.
We'll hear the old.
There's a lawmaker in Washington State who says she's been hurt by marijuana, not the drug, but by the word.
So now the state is banning the term marijuana because of the trauma it brings her. It is all part of today's roundup of Woke World Run Amok.
Let's bring in Fox and Friends weekend host Will Kane. Will, Washington lawmakers passed a bill back in March removing the word marijuana from all laws dealing with pot, cannabis, weed, whatever you want to call it, saying that the word marijuana is racist. And I'm wondering, what are they smoking up there?
Let me see if I can do this, John. So we're going to destigmatize marijuana by legalizing it. And in fact, in the state of Washington, grant dispensary license to black and brown people so they can benefit from this new economy, but at the same time distance ourselves from a word because it stigmatizes black and brown people. So I think I can do the math. I'm not sure, but the actual thing itself, good. the word about that thing, bad. I think that's the math, John.
This is the inanity of the left.
Why is this what Washington is focused on? The word marijuana? Don't they have something more? Don't they have rising crime rates? Don't they have a population that needs actual help from government? This is their focus?
Yeah, they got a lot of things on their plate, Will, but they're focusing on this. Here's a quote from a Washington state lawmaker. This is Representative Melanie Morgan. She says the term marijuana itself is pejorative and racist. As recreational marijuana use became more popular, it was negatively associated with Mexican immigrants. Does anybody really think that?
No.
I'm not 100% plugged in to the marijuana community, but I don't think that everyone associates, or rather, I don't think anyone associates the word marijuana with any particular language, much less ethnicity. I think it's a pop culture term at this point, divorced from any racist association.
Will, you mentioned a second ago, don't we have more important things to focus on like crime? Fox News Digital reached out to some companies who are heavily supportive of Black Lives Matter and other organizations' efforts to defund the police to say, hey, what do you think about rising crime rates and rising murders in this country? And just to sort of drive that home, here's some FBI murder statistics. Black murder victims, 2019, 7,484. 2020, that number increased to 9,913. An increase to 32%. Whites, 2019, 5,787 were killed. 2020, that number grew to 7,029, an increase of 22%.
Oh, hey.
The blacks make up 13.4%.
Relay, thanks, man. Thanks for following. I don't know, what do you just follow, unfollow?
Yet these companies that we talked to, Will,
thanks, I appreciate it.
Who were out there supporting Black Lives Matter and defund the police, had nothing to say.
That's the definition of what you just laid out, John, of a quote-unquote disparate impact. And yet when it comes to
put a Twitter
America, silence.
I put a tweet out
what that reveals, what this isn't and what it
the other day. Somebody was talking about, like, you know, they can't believe the free speech, billionaires and free speech. And I was like, I said, well, I mean, come on, the Democratic Party, right, is the height of hypocrisy, right? That there is democracy in total control is the biggest irony.
CEOs, please leave me alone. I am good. It was never about actually helping Black lives.
There we go.
What it was, in fact, was a reflection
if this
of
works.
a actual pandemic in this country, which is a pandemic of absolute spinelessness and weakness.
So obviously, if you're a subscriber, you can get in.
Attempt to survive, to get their career to the next day. They stand for nothing. They stand for no.
But this should be, you know, this should be put you into the MPU
community in this United States of America, and often
the MPU show link within the Infinity Acre Woods. So that's a place that
this latest news in the last 24 hours.
Each of us who stream,
except their ability to survive to tomorrow.
CTV has been gracious to set us all up with like a place to have people.
By now are run by spineless weaklings.
All right, we've got one last interesting one for you, Will. This comes to us from a college in Canada. I think it's from Waterloo.
I think it's also specious, right, to say that given the amount of recreational marijuana users there are out there, to say that this is Mexican or this is whatever is just stupid anymore. It's an excuse to try to create and sow division. It's an attempt to try to leverage or pull back the Hispanic crowd to make them, try to get them to vote Democrat. But
you can help us.
Texas has kind of shown that there's a lot of bad stuff going on for the Democratic Party in Texas.
First People's reference, two spirits and half of the same person. It's basically a First People's term. For,
if you're not set up prelate,
right.
I think
update on both the new and the old.
I need to talk to CTV about that because I think there's something quirky about the way the links are. He has to allow other people to tie into him, like other streamers to tie into him, and then once that happens, then all of those permissions will flow over. Meaning, if you subscribe to my channel, you'll be able to get into my channel, right? Or you'd be able to get into his channel. So
defined, of course, by me.
Let me take a look. Let me take a look and see where things are. If you can get over into Infinity Acre Wood, I'll drag you in if you wanted to have a conversation.
It works to your benefit.
Yeah, I actually used to work in the Twin City to Waterloo, Kitchener. The area is called Kitchener-Waterloo. So University of Waterloo is a place that I'm quite familiar with. The University of Waterloo says the job opening is for a research chair position in natural science and engineering. The goal is to, quote, address the underrepresentation of individuals individuals from equity-deserving groups among our Canada research chairs. As you point out, public institutions like UW are prohibited from discriminating, except in cases where they are allowed to do so.
That's right. I can't speak to the Canadian Constitution, but this is a movement at large, by the way, beyond the legal and justice movement. This is a movement at large in people's minds, where they are now justified.
This is something we have to set up, like we did that test that we did with everybody's accounts before, Wobbly.
Will, it was good to catch up with you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Will.
Thank you.
All right. Well, as promised,
and you're talking, Prelude, you're talking about
major update in the case of a
Twitch.
baby
I don't know. It could be that it could be that you're being censored by all those right wingers who are buying everything these
The latest
days.
news on the case is a game changer, and that is coming up.
That and why some U.S. lawmakers say it is time to sanction Vladimir Putin's.
Yeah. Well, if you're seeing an ad, it's
coming up
because you're not subbed.
Veteran homeowners need cash? At New Day, you can borrow up to 100% of your home's value and get up to $60,000
my ad choices.
We called
Maybe
and got $96,600.
It's not going to be something I'm going to do today.
That's more than ever.
We called and we got $62,810.
Home values are soaring. Now
I wonder if I can actually shorten my name to the. I don't know.
We called and we got 60.
Everybody calls me MPU, but I think if I didn't have something to anchor it to, I think people would get lost with it. So I just say, hey, you can see me the real MPU over at Twitter or the MPU over on Instagram, right? As I start building these things out. And I'm also on YouTube. So right now I'm actually doing a simulcast on Facebook Live, and just as an experiment, Facebook Live and YouTube Live.
To give you personalized support
so I don't know if it's really good, but we'll see. You know, I have to go back and sort of evaluate everything, and then figure out where things need to be made better.
Know about my older brother Shane. No telling what.
So just for the hell of it, I'm gonna let this go. Jeez. I'm going to let this go at the top of the hour.
And it's easier than ever to get your projects done right. With Angie, you can connect with...
Yeah, no, I agree, right? I mean, you know, it's one thing for people to just shorten your name. Like everybody calls me in real life, they call me by my last name. Which is fine because I was in the military, so I got used to it, right? A lot of people don't like being called by their last name. I am Thomas.
Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
It doesn't bother me. There's a lot of things that bother me, mostly communism in democratic spaces.
Actually eat the recommended servings.
But I can't do anything about it, so I'll just meme about it, right? I'll try to find a way to increase my endorphin output by simply laughing at the idiocy that is the Democratic Party.
Every day. Even processes like juicing leave out pulp and other parts of produce.
Well, actually, so I'm not doing that yet because it's all an experiment and nobody's following those other channels.
Every day without eating.
But I am actually
by taking Balance of Nature
going to probably, just for the shit of it, right? I'm probably going to adjust the layout here. Like you can see, you know, I've got my information bar here, and there's like an inset window or whatever. I may actually truncate part of the screen and just do a multi-columnar view there, and then try to depend on like some
it's life's most
chat bots and things like that to sort of help manage, and then bring moderators in to do the other stuff and actually consolidate stuff in. Because it could be a lot, and probably it's not going to be something that's going to be a lot to have to consider unless a lot of people who like to use a particular channel versus another one. But the good thing is that all of these channels are within a couple of seconds of each other. So the real-time aspect of being able to look at people's chats is going to be pretty cool.
A change in your heart rate, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes,
let me go over to
tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection. A severe or worse.
I'm gonna check YouTube Live just to see where things are.
Treatment. Your future is ahead of you, so it's time to make the most of it with Kisqali. Because when you invest in yourself, everyone gets the best of you.
Is inflation about to shrink your savings and reduce your retirement? We're seeing it
So
everywhere.
I'm
Gas,
technically
food,
recording,
energy prices are
but I don't
going
see
through
it.
the roof. Is more coming? What do these
Yeah,
experts
YouTube Live says it's broadcasting, but
inflation nightmare is here. The Fed is going to have to try and crush inflation, but it's going to take down the economy and your retirement plans along the way.
Don't wait. Call for this special report, the inflation storm.
well, it says I've been in live for 42 minutes. So yeah, okay. You just have to go to the live tab.
Your savings.
That's actually kind of interesting. So I'm going to do this.
Out of whack. So
I'm
you
going to
should
look over
be
here.
diversified. Own some real money, God's money, gold and silver.
Call Lear Capital now for the inflation.
Yeah, it looks like it's a big fat whopping 10 seconds behind, so it's not too bad.
Mercury dime. Also ask how you can get up to $10,000
Now where
in bonus
there
for the
are,
qualifying purchase.
I don't have any current viewers over there, so I couldn't even remotely tell you.
800-264-5700.
And I know nothing. I literally know nothing about how to make that.
Is the Fox News
No. Using the everything is there's a plugin called Multiple Output for OBS, and you just run it through, and it uses the encoder. Everything is using the encoder for OBS Studio, and it's just simply directing it to multiple ingest sites.
California has been praying for.
So it literally takes, I think, 4 or 5 extra CPU percent.
Now comes the search for answers.
So it's not too bad.
Senior correspondent Claudia Cowan has more.
I do see that looking at stream health, I see I've dropped 0.2% frames. That's kind of high for what this is, but there's an awful lot of stuff that's actually going on right now. Now, in theory, if I wanted to create a multiple encoder situation, sure. What I can do is take the output of, because there's an NDI function within Streamlabs, NDI function within OBS Studio that you can take advantage of. I can actually fire that up, send out the broadcast of the show as an NDI input, and then have another laptop or Mac Mini or something like that setting off to the side. That is just simply processing that as a feed via another OBS instance, and then sending that out to a direct thing. But I've got, I'm constantly monitoring my internet connection and stuff now. I'm 1.2 gigabit per second as my feed, and I'm streaming it in, I think, 1080. Actually, I'm streaming out in 720. So I can do comfortably 6 simultaneous streams outbound and not have to sweat the outbid.
What she knows about this.
But everything seems to be.
That news conference, detectives located 3-month-old Brandon Cuellar at a neighborhood several miles away. Now the details are still unfolding.
According to YouTube Live, the stream health is excellent. So
baby appears to be okay. He's being checked out at a local hospital as a precaution.
Let's kill for a second.
To be returned to his family in just the next few hours. But also, John,
let's kill the Roku for a second. So this is what we're looking at, right? Essentially. Not bad. High. And then, so now, one of the things I want to do, right, is obviously in order to get to that point, I need to be able to pop out the chat, which if I can, and I can get a URL link on it. As we pop out chat. And this is where the one thing I don't know is that you can pop out chat and you can make it a panel, or you can make it a source. So if I wanted to try to do something clever over here, I'd make it a source, browser source, call it YouTube chat, and we'll do that, and we'll do this, and we'll do that. And we'll do this. And then now, okay, so somewhere, which you can't really see because, oh no, you can. There it is. So there we go. And then if I go over here and say something to myself again, got it. Hi. So now you can see, or people in the stream can see my actual feed. So, which is covering my face now, right? So if I go back over to, if I go back over and cue the Roku back up.
Ukrainian Nazis, claiming that Ukrainians are attempting to kill Russian journalists.
So now you got my chat, and I got the other chat right there. Now the question is, now the next time I fire this up, is it still going to be there? I don't know.
In this photo, there are confiscated items such as a T-shirt and video games of the series.
Yeah. So my setup preload is
these were supposed to be SIM cards.
Rodecaster Pro soundboard. I've got a Shure SM7B broadcast mic. I've got two Rode
you too, John.
pod mics.
Thank you so much.
Which are actually really super nice dynamic mics for like $100 each. They're pretty nice.
We'll see you again tomorrow. I'm John.
A couple Stream Deck XLs. I got a V60 HD physical hardware switcher, and I've got a Roku running through a HDMI splitter. And I did a frame grabber as well, and just
do you consider
a bunch of lights
in a state of crisis?
And all of it's remote controllable. This is
there's going to be a lot. Intelligence suggests there'll be a lot of people, a lot more people migrating to the border.
A lot more people. And that is when Title 42 is lifted. But, you know, the polls point to big trouble across the board, really, for Democrats in the midterms based on the triple whammy of inflation, rising crime, and that open border issue.
This is the camera that I'm going to be using Sunday as my wide or as my overall shot camera.
For the
so
White
it's
House
a
in some
Sony
ways. A judge's decision
X30 HD
keeps Title 42 in place for now. That came late
XD
yesterday.
cam.
That could change,
Pretty slick.
though,
Works out well.
next month.
That's a Sennheiser boom mic.
Is currently
really excellent capture.
Remain in Mexico
and then I'll be running
policy
my extra mic
to question whether or not it is supported by our federal laws. So we'll break all this down for you in just a moment with the Arizona Attorney General. But Bill Melugin is standing by at the border as well, and Mark Meredith is at the White House. So we start to break this down with Mark Meredith. Hi, Mark.
Martha, good afternoon to you.
And everything will be fed.
The White House sent Fox and other media outlets a memo
everything will be fed off of a constant
plans to do once Title 42 is
constant power. So I'll take a UPS in and a 16-way power distribution block and that them and happy.
Supplies and personnel on the border that they realize there is going to be a large influx of people once 42 is.
It works really well, Wobbly. And if you want to get serious about NDI, Mevo, which they were just bought by Logitech. Mevo cameras.
As you just mentioned yesterday, a federal judge in Louisiana decided to put a temporary pause on the lifting of this Title 42 because he wants to see more time about what's going on with this case. Now, the White House has insisted that it's the CDC that's calling the shots whether to lift this, and that this is not being done by the Department of Homeland Security, but instead being done in coordination.
So this camera,
we've heard from a number of Republican lawmakers that are urging the
NDI, you can actually bring it in as a USB camera as well. You can also remote feed these. So this has got
remaining Band-Aid.
It's not in here now, but there's a little tab down at the bottom. You can put a micro SD card in, and you can record. And the camera, the charge on this, I believe, is good for 5 hours. So you could literally go in the field, set these things up on tripods, multiple angles, and be able to run and run back and forth with them. Here, the setup that I'm going to use for Sunday is this camera will be set up as sort of like the wide shot for the interview. One camera on each of us over the shoulder of the person speaking. So, you know, from a view perspective, it's going to be back here, so it catches the back of the person's head and the person they're talking to, right? So, like, you know, standard cut back and forth interview. And then the third camera, I've got 3 of these. The third camera will actually be taking a wide shot with an external mic feed for the broadcast audio that's going to be taken internally. Not broadcast audio, but the stage audio and video will be captured by this. This probably will not be fed live I'm not sure what their rules are going to be for that for the purpose, but I'll have it so I can take sound bites and stuff out of it. And so I'm looking forward to it. Right, this is all told.
The winner of that
approximately
Senator Mark Kelly, which is a closely watched
almost $14,000 for the hardware.
Thank you very much for being here.
We'll go into this show soon.
I'm wondering if this decision yesterday by this federal district judge in Louisiana that keeps Title 42 in place, at least for now.
I tell you what, is to be honest, Pralett with the advent of 5G. 5G makes a lot of this stuff a lot more possible. I'm thinking about getting just like the mobile hotspot thing from like Verizon. It's not just like a tether device, but it's literally acts like a Wi-Fi router to be able to do that and be able to do things, because then you can just slap that in your backpack and you can go. Hey Wobbly, thanks man, I appreciate you coming in. That's good to see your face walking around, and thanks for the show that you did this morning. I got some actually pretty good news information out of that and fun stuff. Anyway, make sure you guys check out So_Wobbly over at Twitch. He does the show in the morning from about 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock a.m. Central Time for me, and he runs a couple 3 or 4 hours right into either Colonel Dan or Preacher if they happen to be streaming. So good fun.
Of confidence.
Thanks a lot for coming by, brother.
A lot of folks have been, even Democrats have been saying, we need to see the plan. How's this going to work?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is cheap political theater, quite frankly, because the reality is you can
you can talk smack for
patrol agents,
another 4 minutes or so.
Administration and enablers like Cartel Kelly in the U.S. Senate that essentially are allowing them to decriminalize and incentivize.
If the hey Woodsy, let me ask you guys a question.
Agents. Should it be troubling to American taxpayers if the Biden administration wants to spend more money on green energy?
If any administration
projects and securing our border
says we expect a massive increase of illegal immigration if we disable this particular policy,
to have people,
are they failing to take care
whether it's failure to deport people
of the constitutional oath of office that they would faithfully defend the Constitution against
non-citizens, which
all enemies, foreign and domestic. Now, an enemy doesn't have to mean you're going to destroy, somebody's trying to destroy America, but
what they are trying to do is
through acts of violence. But what happens if you have a policy of enabling social services and you don't make the distinction between those who are citizens and those who are not? Is it possible that you can harm your country through en masse immigration, uncontrolled immigration? I think it is. And I think that the administration, by acknowledging that they believe that the ending of Title 42, among other things, other policies,
that I grew up here in
Arizona.
I'm a public school kid. I was a gang.
That I think that let me kill this for a second. I think that the backside of that whole argument, right, is that we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Not because the people that are coming in are bad people. By and large, they're not, right? That's a reasonable thing. Most people want to improve their lives. But there are enough criminal elements. There are enough criminal elements where it is a problem from like a Homeland Security perspective. But then also just the cultural mores of the nation. Yeah, we're a melting pot. But there's a kind of a unique identity for American citizens. Vis-a-vis the rest of the world. And it's not the quote unquote the whiteness of America, right? This is not about, retaining a pure color society where there's black and white and there's some brown and there's some Asian. That's not what this is about. The idea that you can essentially flood the zone with enough to overwhelm the social services aspects, I think is something that really is appealing to progressives, because they want to be able to justify taxing the people they hate, which is people that have earned, saved, scraped, been fortunate through hard work and determination, and the relatively speaking few that might have inherited some wealth. They want to take all of that money so that they can redistribute it out in a way they think makes sense to them. In reality, they're just doing, as Tocqueville said, they're just trying to bribe the people with the people's money, except in this case, they bribe the people with some other people's money. And nobody's doing the math exercise on that to say that, yep, for real, there is a legit concern here that you can't get this stuff done. You're not going to be able to make this work. So I have something here. So this, what I did here is, this is the chat for YouTube Live. And what I'm going to make an attempt to do here is under the custom doc setup, and somewhere around here is a custom doc, custom browser docs. I'm going to add another one, and I'm going to call this YT Live Chat. Okay. And we'll do this, and we'll call it like this, and we'll see what happens. See what I end up with here. And we'll close that. Hey, look. It's a new doc. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it side by side inside of here. Yep. Sign in to chat. Uh-oh. Well, that's a problem. Okay, well, clearly there'll be some opportunities to make some changes over there, but it's not preserving my deal. And that tells me that it means probably the next time I fire this up, it's going to ask me to sign in again, which is something I don't want to do. It'll take more time to actually start up, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, guys, I wanted to, let's see where we are here. Yeah. And yeah. Let's see. Oh, okay. It's kicking back. And oh, wow. That's interesting. It didn't actually kick off the show music. So this was just kind of a little bit of a short thing to talk. Hey, Nacho, what's up, man? How have you been? Local governments, when it's unskilled migrants, can be a strain on their resources. Skilled migrants bringing capital is good, though. Yeah, skilled migrants bringing capital in is good. There aren't many of those who are coming in illegally, right? As a vast majority condition, and I think we can look at we definitely should be looking at immigration. Say, where we've got 10 million jobs and we can't fill them. Are those jobs that we can fill with other labor? If there are, then let's create these systems where we can actually bring those people in and increase the flow of immigration, right? But do it in a sane way. I have things I have to do. I have to feed the wife and the dog, and we're trying to do some training and stuff like that. But in any case, guys, I just wanted to let you know that I will be live Sunday, May 1st, covering the Republican GOP not nominating, but the GOP nominating debate over here in Western Wisconsin. So it's going to be actually pretty fun. I'm looking forward to it. And wow, dude, I need to go through and look at all my timing stuff. Been good just working. Yeah, man, it's been a hot minute. I haven't seen you forever, dude. Yeah, but in any case, Nacho, yeah, maybe we could talk about this, right? Because I know that you are Hispanic, and there's a lot of people that have different takes. Some people are like very pro open borders. Some people are like, say, let's just have a reasonable approach to how we're doing this. So, but we'll see. But until then, guys, I will catch up with you later on. Be good.